Well, this is the fourth and final conversations with me with my favorite authors. This one is the amazing Lauren Bruckner, who is an occupational therapist and has written some of my favorite books, The Kid's Guide to Being Awesome and in Control, The Keeping Calm Guru. But in this interview, she shares about a beautiful book about really the magic of understanding our emotions. Okay. And it's about being a magician. And the reason that I wanted to share this podcast now is I would love you to all think about in 2026, whether you could make a display using the mindfulness magician to start the year, because so many schools use zones of regulation, but neurodiverse children often can't recognize their zone, where they're at, to then down or up regulate it. What Lauren does is give children the language, what I call emotional literacy, rather than expecting them to just know about their emotions. Like we teach children to read, we break it down, we repeat it, we practice it, we do it ongoing. Children need to learn about their emotions. And I am passionate that many children end up on that same zone every day because they haven't learned about where the emotion is in their body and what to do when they feel it. So Lauren makes making understanding our emotions fun through the mindfulness magician. And I would love you to think about, when you're listening to this, could you start the year with a display where children work out what their little magic wand's going to be? Because everyone calms down differently. Everybody has different emotions. So my guess is you are all feeling emotions about going back to work, and you'd all have different emotions. And some of you will be calming by sitting on the couch watching a DVD. Others will be eating their weight in chocolate. If you're like me, I'm a bit of an eater. Or some of you will be getting out, exercising, or some of you might be listening to music. You're all going to regulate differently. And I think what's important is we realize children regulate differently. And when I work with neurodiverse children, it helps them to see that we're all different and everyone regulates differently. And same event, people can have different emotions, but we all need to regulate our own emotions. As I say, never in the history of calming down has anyone ever calmed down by being told to calm down. So what we need to do is actually teach children rather than just tell them what that emotion is. Recognize the emotion. Then how do we up or down regulate that? So I hope you enjoy listening to Lauren explain how to use the book with the children as much as I enjoyed listening to her and also using the book myself. Don't forget to register for my upcoming live virtual workshops. If you haven't already, please register ASAP for the upcoming PD days in your state. So we have the Queensland, sorry, I had it up here and I've got far too many tabs open on my computer. I'm sure you can relate. The 23rd of January is the Queensland PD day on the Friday, and then the Tuesday, the 27th. Anyone's welcome to any of these days, by the way. The 27th of January is actually New South Wales PD day. So you are welcome to join me for that. And then the Wednesday, the 4th of February, some parts of New South Wales have that as a PD day. But if you're available, I would love to see you there. So make sure you register ASAP so I can get those packs out to you if you're in Australia. And please don't forget to include your home address if you're planning to learn from home that day, to save you having to go to school and pick up your pack or having to print everything off when I'm sending it to you with a sensory tool and some little treats for the day. So register ASAP to get your show bag. Can't wait to see you on the day. I am super excited to have Lauren Bruckner on the podcast this week, sharing all about her book, The Mindful Magician. This book is just gorgeous, and I know you are going to love it. If you love Lauren's other books, lots of you know The Kid's Guide to Being Awesome, The Keeping Calm Guru, How to Be a Superhero, or Self-Control to the Rescue, which are for all different ages and stages in teaching children to recognize and regulate emotions. I love all those books because she's an OT, and she really does include all the different things children can use to regulate and de-escalate their behaviors. Now, what she has done, de-regulate their feelings or emotions, how they're feeling, and often that looks like behavior, obviously. But in the new book, I love it. It's a picture book. So it's using a lot of the things that she talks about in her books. But actually, the children go to Feelings Town and they become a magician who learn to be the boss of their own emotions by zapping away their feelings. So after recording this podcast with Lauren, I got all excited and I'm like, oh, I'm going to make this a fun thing for all my listeners. So make sure you jump on the blog or podcast episode online if you're listening to this later. But if you do subscribe to my email list, you should have got an email this week with a whole lot of fun activities for the kids and templates so that all the children can make a wand and they can make their own stop sign. So you'll hear Lauren talk about making their own stop sign in this. Now, a couple of things. I have a problem with the word stop because the word stop doesn't tell a child what to do. But they are going to learn what to do in this book. But I highly recommend if the children can write on the stop sign, they write down what personally helps them stop. So instead of being a stop sign, Lauren's saying it can be a love heart or a butterfly or a star, or children can draw their own. But I'm giving you some templates of things and even just some ideas so you can show the children what their stop sign could be. So they could just color that in, or you could get the children to write the words on there. So up to you. But what I'm sending to is also a picture of the magician who takes the children around Feelings Town. And I'm thinking maybe you could copy the objects, the outlines onto different colors and then put it as a display like a rainbow. Because in the Feelings Town, in the book, it's like a rainbow the way it's put out. So maybe you have a whole lot of purple, then orange, then yellow to make your display look more colorful if you're just going to have children write words in their stop sign. And I think that would just be the most beautiful display. And this is making children understand their emotions and what to do. But remember, feelings can come up for different reasons. So Lauren goes through each of the different feelings, like some children need movement, some sights and sounds, some have strong feelings, some are wiggly, some it's inside body like toilet, drink, food. So Lauren goes through all of those in this interview. But then I would love you to make the display, get children to make their own magic wand, and maybe can have the display in your classroom and they have to go and tap the wand and say what they're going to do. Oh, you could just make this so much fun. I just think this could be awesome. Or you might just laminate that and they keep it in their pocket. Or you might laminate it and it's on their desk, their stop sign. Or it might be in their pencil case. Up to you. Maybe you can photocopy them and use them in different spots. I don't know. I just think you are going to have so much fun making your mindful magician and the children having a wand and what their stop sign. So the activities I'm sending are for the children to create the wand and the stop signs. Up to you. But if the children can write words, I'd encourage you to put those on there. And really helping children understand their emotions. This is the best book, The Mindfulness Magician. It's on my website. If you haven't grabbed a copy, make sure you do. I actually recorded this podcast interview a while ago with Lauren, but it's been so hard to get stock in Australia. And I have just literally bought every copy I can find from our supplier because I just love this book and I know you're going to too. So have fun helping children to zap away their emotions and being the boss of their feelings, and have fun making a class display, or at home, maybe you can make a family display. And I think families, you'll love this book too. Welcome, everybody. I am so excited to have Lauren Bruckner on the podcast. She's an occupational therapist and author of one of my favorite books, The Kid's Guide to Being Awesome, which she's come on the podcast to talk about before. So super excited to have you back on. So welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
It's super exciting. Now, for people who don't know you, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm a treating pediatric occupational therapist. I am an evaluator for the New York City Department of Education. I also treat kids in elementary school twice a week. And while I've been treating, I've developed the Awesome and Control curriculum as I saw the need for it in the pediatric population to work on self-regulation, like around language, around self-regulation and connected strategies. From there, I also developed the handwriting program as I saw the need for kids to be able to work on underlying skills connected to handwriting, right? Like throughout the day, as well as a curriculum for teachers to implement throughout the day as well. So not hands-on for kids to work on, but for the teachers to implement around underlying skills connected to self-regulation, like reading, writing, transitions as well. So my 7th book actually came out in April. So that's really exciting.
So exciting. And we're going to talk about that. But I realized when we were emailing back and forth that I hadn't had you on to talk about the getting your words on paper, even though I did do a podcast when it came out and told everyone about it. How excited, because it's fabulous having an occupational therapist, because as teachers, we don't learn how to help children get their words on paper. And there's so many great activities in there to help children with their because it's not just about fine motor skills. It's about the scanning, and there's so many skills to get words on paper.
Exactly. And I feel like that's actually, as an evaluator and even as a treating therapist, like that's one of our number one referrals for kids in the school system is handwriting, especially as we were in the pandemic, right? Like kids were typing a lot and there wasn't the pencil to paper. So we were getting like handwriting, but like really there's the underlying skills that are connected to handwriting. So within that book, like we actually ask the child, what is the block? Like what is the hardest around the handwriting? So we're actually putting the child in the front seat. What is the most difficult? So whether it's visual motor, whether it's gross motor, whether it's attention or sensory, right? So based on their answers, you develop a program that you implement before they sit down to write, and you embed that every single day. So it kind of like decreases the need for me, which is what I want.
I love that. And that's what I want. And teachers have 30 children in the class. They don't want to have to be there all the time either. So it's that proactive, not reactive. And I couldn't agree more. So many kids on devices. But I also think iPads, because children on an iPad get a response from just one finger on a device, and there's not a lot of tracking skills is what I'm finding. So I'm not an OT, I'm just a teacher that goes, well, because the child is just getting a response straight under their finger and they're not always having to do that tracking. I'm seeing a lot of children who are really struggling with scanning them when it comes to reading too. Like it's all connected, isn't it?
Yes, like they're losing those fundamental skills that are really important, even like with the kinesthetic component, right? Like you need to touch things, you need to experience things. Like they need to use the ocular motor components. They need to use a hands-on component. And when they're losing that, right? That's like, honestly, they're getting that automatic feedback. They're getting like the electronic, like it's more fun sometimes, right? Or they're thinking like, okay, and it's so fast paced. They're losing those underlying skills. So we need to bring it back.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. I'll make sure I reconnect to the getting the words on paper. And I think when I put it up last time, I put some of the pages as examples. So I'll make sure I do that, because I think teachers want time savers, and that's what you provide in all your books. And that's why I love the Kids Guide to Being Awesome too, because it's pick it up and do this as a brain break with the whole class. And of course, anyone with younger kids, there's the calming guru for older kids too, with emotional regulation. And they love that. I think that sort of more mature approach to self-regulation is so important. But you've got a new book out, which I'm very, very excited about, The Mindfulness Magician, and it's a bit different because it's like a picture book.
Yes, it was really, really exciting for me. I've always wanted to write like a full color picture book that was more like a read aloud. I've had like friends and colleagues ask me like, when are you writing like a read aloud picture book? And it was always a goal of mine. So this was really exciting for me to get.
Because people are listening on a podcast, just tell them what they're going to see in this magical world, because the illustrations are beautiful, but you let us take us on a bit of an imaginary journey of what they're going to see in there.
Sure. So we have the Mindful Magician, and the Mindful Magician takes the reader on this trip around Feelingstown. And Feelingstown has different stops that target different feeling, so to speak. So we have, I can show you, could tell me if you can see. Is it blurry? And I don't know that. Okay. So for example, like the first stop is strong feeling street. So we're basically, according to, if you think back to like how to be a superhero called self-control, we have characters who are in need. They're experiencing different like sensory and emotional regulation difficulties. So if we do the strategy the correct way, we save the day for that character. So this is similar, but it's a little more simplified. We have one magical power that we do. And then if we do the magical power the right way, we save the day for the character in need. So for example, a strong feeling street, we have Andy who's playing outside with her friends. She's playing hopscotch. She doesn't want to come inside. Her mom is telling her it's time to come in for dinner. She's getting really, really, really angry. So what is the first magical superpower we learn? We learn it's stop sign, and it's really broken down in how to do stop sign. So we like kind of do stop sign with Andy. We do it the right way. And then Andy is inside eating dinner with her family and she's feeling just right. Right? Sweet. Right. And then we just go to different stops along the way. We go to Sights and Sound Station where everything is so busy. There's a lot going on. There's like loud noises. There's a lot of visuals in the environment. And we just go to a strategy around that. Along the way, there's like Wiggly Way, Movement Mountain, like Interoception area, right? Which is inside Body Feeling Zoo. So it's just targeting different areas where kids feel like strong feelings that the reader can relate to. They do a strategy, which is a magical superpower. They learn, oh, I can connect to this, and they can integrate it into their daily life.
I love it. I love it. And kids love it when you make learning fun and using that metaphor and analogies and saying it's a magic or a superpower. I just think it's a bit like the kids guide being awesome. It's just so proactive and positive instead of, I always find with kids, if I can be like, okay, what superpower do we need to use now? I can see that then they're taking control of their own emotions. And I think I might have mentioned last time, I call it emotional literacy. We need to give children the literacy and the language to understand their feelings. So what the picture book's doing is bringing all of that literacy together in a way that they can be like, I need to stop this and go inside or stop an activity. What magical power do I need to use in this moment?
Exactly. And I feel like I've been like exploring this with students I work with and classrooms, and kids really love the idea of magic, right? One part is like every kid has magic inside them. And I've had kids say, of course we do. Right?
I love that.
Because, right, it's true. Kids are magic. They have magic. And we can kind of take that. And then I like to embed the idea that they have power and control. And that is like a theme of all my books. And if we can give the child choice in taking this superpower, taking this magical power, and give them the idea of control and autonomy in how they're embedding that in this superpower, in the magical power, then they're able to self-regulate effectively.
I love it.
Right? So it's not just do the strategy, right? Like in certain ones, it's okay. Like what color is your stop sign? What does it look like? So they have the choice, they have the control, and they love creating their own stop signs, right? It's sparkly. It's a hexagon. It's, it's made out of diamonds, right? So we're giving them choice. And that's amazing. I loved going into a classroom and they were showing me like all these different stop signs.
I love it.
So cute. And they put it on a wall, right? So there was the stop sign wall. So as soon as the child felt like frustrated, really dysregulated, the teacher was pointing to the wall, stop sign.
Yeah. I love it.
Right?
I love it. And also making those activities where it then becomes a conversation, like a class conversation, and they can all talk to each other about their stop signs. And so then they've got that neutral understanding. And if they need to, some of my girls on the spectrum particularly co-regulate with their friends. So what you're doing is giving them the language and so really to say to their friends, what's your stop sign? And we're all talking about that. And then in that moment, they can support their neurodiverse peers because they've got that same language. I love that.
That's why I love doing this. Like everybody's doing the same thing. There's not one child pulled out having their own stop sign. The teacher has their stop sign. Every child has their stop sign. If you're doing this at home, like mom has a stop sign, right? The brother has a stop sign. The sister has a stop, whoever, right? Everybody's on the same page. And even if, right, like the child is watching mom, for example, like being really frustrated and they're saying, oh, stop sign. Right? They're modeling the use of the stop sign. So it's not the child feeling like only they have it.
Exactly. And I think this is what's so important, that we need children to know we have big emotions as adults too. I think it's so important. And I even know my oldest daughter's just started work and she's going through that illusion of work, thinking work was going to be this wonderful place. And I'm like, my husband and I have been reflecting, maybe we didn't tell her enough how hard work can be. That it can be tricky, and we need children no matter what age. She's a young adult and we're still teaching her that it's okay to get upset at work, and she's never worked. Am I allowed to cry at work? Is that okay? You know?
Right.
And I think every adult has.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But don't you think we should all be sharing our emotions and telling, because otherwise so many of our children think emotions are wrong, that they should be happy all the time like a Disney movie. That's
right.
That's not right.
Exactly. And that's like another part of this book is explaining like big feelings are totally okay, right? And here's things that we can do to help us manage them when they get too big and then we can't move past them. But everybody has them.
Yeah. So. And I think that's what's so important, because some of my children will catastrophize and think they're the only person in the classroom that's feeling that way. And that's why I love your books, because I like to do it as a whole class and like, hey, we're all going to get up and have a break. And what sort of break do you need? What do I need? And everyone talking like, sometimes I am tired. Sometimes I need different things. I think that's what's so powerful, getting us all really more conscious of our feelings and emotions, but also we can fix them up. We can feel good again.
Exactly. Yeah.
100%. So who illustrated the book?
Oh my gosh, she is so amazing. Jennifer James. I have to say, kids look through this book and they are regulated by looking at the pictures. Honestly.
I felt the same. I'm such a visual person. I just thought the illustrations were beautiful and interesting. There were so many different, like not always Wally, but there were different things to learn. And yeah.
You can spend hours on a page, like looking at all the little details and like the little bunnies that have the little helpers and like they're silly and cute and adorable. Like just the little details are so fun. I feel like I have to spend more time looking at all the details. Like I could have a therapy session with students, like just dissecting the pictures, and they're so gorgeous. And if I have a sequel, I definitely want to work with her because she's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, she's really brought your words to life. And yeah. But I just think, because if you think about it, we all feel different feelings and emotions for different reasons. And I just think the pages and the colors have really captured that and just made it so engaging. Oh, good. So what would you do in the sequel? I have to know now.
You know what? It's so funny because I woke up this morning like really early and I was thinking, I don't know, I was thinking about our talk and I was like, would I write another book about this? And you know what? I wonder what it would be like if the mindful magician went to school. Right? And what would Feelingstown look like if it was just like school in Feelingstown? And I think that would actually be a really cute sequel. Once I kind of get back into my groove, if I did my 8th book, I wonder if that.
I love it. That would be amazing, because for many children that I work with, mainly on the spectrum, that often they don't realize other people are having the same emotions and challenges. And sometimes a book saying, well, so-and-so feels this way and so-and-so feels, because I always say one activity, we can all feel different emotions in the same activity. This week I was talking at a conference and I got them to write down by 9:00 every emotion they'd felt. And this is how I love it. From when you woke up this morning to now, what are the emotions you felt? And how did you fix up those emotions? If there was just as adults, right? Because I was trying to get them to understand that we all have emotions. But some people woke up excited about the conference. Others woke up anxious. Same activity, different feeling, right? And some people regulated with a coffee, of course.
Well, I mean, I can relate to that.
But my point is that sometimes we expect every child in the class to feel the same way about the same activity. And that's just not going to happen.
No.
Everyone's going to a conference. Everyone doesn't feel the same. You're doing a music activity. Some children love it. Some hate it, especially my sound sensitive children. They're not too happy about that.
Yeah.
So I love the idea of the magician going to school because I can see like getting the children to think about, you've got me too excited. This isn't meant to be about me.
No, but I actually really love that idea because sometimes we like expect even more of our kids in general, right? It's like we can be dysregulated, we can be frustrated in that, but I think it's like sometimes we just expect like our kids, of course they're going to be okay. Of course they're going to sit and listen to our lessons and our therapy sessions and they're going to come home from school totally okay. And I think, and that's, you know, like we have our agenda with them and that's normal because we have a lot on our plates as adults. But I think it is important to stop and think, okay, wait, they're kids.
Exactly. And I always say, like when I talk at conferences, I always have your awesome book there and I always do brain breaks. And I always say, notice yourself as a learner today. There are times that you will be turned off, switching off. Well, what do you do to regulate? That's why we have to teach the children because many of our children don't know how to get back to that spot. So yeah. And now we can add the magician and we can say, well, what would the magician do? Yeah. I love it. Yeah. And then the magician's going to go to school now. Now you've told all my audience.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I have to pitch this to my publisher.
Absolutely. So I love that. So I'm just trying to think, we've sort of told a lot about the book. I think it's great. Oh, what age group are you imagining it being used with?
I really think pre-K and up. And that's where I've tested it out. And that's where I've really found it effective so far and where I've heard feedback. And honestly, like I actually just spoke to a teacher who gave me the feedback that she's been using these strategies herself and it's been helpful. So I love that. To say just for kids, I feel like it's just starting with pre-K.
So what's pre-K? What age is that?
Oh, okay. Like 4
and up. Yeah, I thought that. I thought 4 and up when I read it. I never sort of, I always like to check with the author what they were thinking, but I think 4-year-olds and up could actually use the strategies and the language that it was pitched at. I really like that. That's so gorgeous. Well, congratulations. What'd you say? Book number 8. Book number 8, is it? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
Excited now.
It's so exciting. Well, thank you so much for coming on and also for sharing a little bit about getting your words on paper. I highly recommend that everybody have a look at both of those books. And I'm pretty sure most people should have all your other ones, but I'll make sure I link to all of them in the blog. Oh, is there any downloadable activities in the new book?
Oh, yeah. I'm actually very excited about it. I wound up because I wanted this book to be like really simple for kids to integrate one strategy per area of difficulty, I only did one. But if you go to the download section on JKP or Hachette UK, you will get added areas. Like if you want to work on, besides like stop sign for strong feelings tree, for example, there will be another few strategies. Like if you want more information, there's a whole list and like added ways for you to integrate the strategies into daily life. So there's like added strategies per area. So there's a bunch of added contents.
Oh, great. Well, I'll make sure I link to that and maybe put an example. That's the great thing with books now. We can just have a link that takes us to other really good content and ideas. Fantastic. So what's your stop sign? What's yours?
You know what? So my favorite colors are pink and green. And I love the idea of a heart. I just think that's peaceful and beautiful. And it's just pink and green.
I love it. A heart. I think that is so gorgeous. Well, my word for last year was joy. And I think a joyful heart would have to have been mine last year.
Are there any colors or?
I'm a blue and red girl. And I've always been navy and red. I don't know. So yeah, that deep blue. Yeah, I would definitely do it in that. And I still do my diary in colored textures every week because it makes me happy. Yeah.
It's just about knowing your strategies and what works, right?
100%. I'm a Post-it note and color texter girl still.
It's just knowing yourself and what works for you. That's just what it is.
I don't think kids like to see that. I really do.
Yeah. They do. And I will name it for the kids I work with and be like, okay, like for me, mantras are really helpful saying, I can do it. No big deal. Showing them a stop sign and having like modeling it. I just feel like it's effective.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Well, thank you. And I love your love heart, your pink and green love heart of, I think that'll inspire lots of people today to go and have a think what their stop sign is. In fact, I might, when the podcast goes live, ask people in my Facebook podcast group what their stop sign is. That'd be a really fun question.
I'm curious to see what you guys all decide.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. I know it's very early in the morning there, so go and get some more coffee.
And it's late by you, so
yeah, it's great. Well, I'm so glad we were able to connect. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Well, I hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. Don't forget to register ASAP for my upcoming PD days. So just a reminder, there are 2 dates in January and 1 in February, and then I am going to be out face to face. So make sure you register ASAP. We always are happy to invoice you and you pay later. My passion is just to get you there. And particularly if you are signing up for the live virtual, I want to get those packs out to you. So if you're planning to learn from home that day, please make sure you include your home address so you don't have to go to school to pick up your pack with the fabulous new handouts. And I'm super excited to be sharing with you lots of tips and strategies. So enroll now. Make sure you include your home address. I'm sorry if you're in New Zealand or outside Australia, I can't send them to you. But anywhere else, anywhere in Australia, make sure you register ASAP so I can get those packs out to you ready to learn on the day. I look forward to seeing you on the day to set you up for success for a fabulous 2026.